Yes, this is a blanket. I'm thinking if I go out to the pharmacy or something, they'll probably accuse me of being addicted to syrup or something like that, or being weak and always wanting medication, all sorts of things. So yeah, whatever, man. I don't know how to make soup. Anyway, there's unrest in our country, especially among the youth, and it's because us as the youth and the elderly, which are mostly the retired people, are the most marginalized in this country, and this is, when you do truly look at it, due to lack of adequate services. These services primarily include medical care, and this is a drive for creating clinics, public clinics, that are clean, have proper, friendly staff, adequate staff, so that we don't have staff that's overworked, as well as having other facilities like municipal facilities that actually bring services to the people, and not uh, provide services based on the money that the people return back. This is an old principle that is based on lack of innovation, and in the lack of solar energy and so forth, we seriously cannot condone such um, such backward thinking. So we have the elderly, the retired, and the youth who are not sure what their role is, and thus the march. They don't understand what is the march forward. Now, the march forward is a march for forward thinking, right? We have and we understand that we do not get adequate assistance and help. Our voices are silenced by a lot of um, entities which now, at my caliber, I can swat like flies. So I am saying to the youth, our problems, be open about our problems. Um, what you think about me, what you know about me, what you predict about me, it almost probably is true, but I will not say it. Now, I'm going to speak of something that our First Lady said, which got to me, which is the inability for our leadership to mold future leaders. And I think this is very, very, very vital. For me, example, right now, um, I'm looking for a mentor. I'm looking for a mentor who can mentor me into the leadership process based on experience, because I have analytical, theoretical, and book experience and so forth. But there is a practical uh, experience that is needed, and it's a mentor that should not feel um, overburdened. I am quite something to deal with. Um, but I have realized that I do have leadership qualities, um, and keeping them in and having kept them in for so long and just giving them away hasn't done me any good, and it's time for me to step up. So I'm looking for a mentor. I did look for mentors practically anybody. I didn't discriminate, but now I'm looking for a mentor that will literally take me out of their wing into take me under their wing, not just metaphorically, but mean it, so that I can have those minute talks about leadership when the time is open, so that I can walk and see, almost like an internship, um, that kind of leadership model is missing, and greatly greatly um, it will greatly benefit us, um, and it will greatly benefit the youth, because in that I want to also learn um, what is it exactly, or where the youth should be placed, because at the moment there is this sense of get a job, any job, as long as you're making some sort of income. So basically what that means is, as long as you don't fall into poverty, right, as long as you have some form of income where you can impress some girls, um, youth that want to start up businesses, simple businesses like putting up some sort of a stall or something, will get laughed at and ridiculed even by their peers, to the extent that they'll be disheartened and their entrepreneurial potential will not grow, and their business that could have been will not be where it might have been had they um, had proper mentoring. So there is also a call for business mentors, but the problem is that most mentors come from difficult backgrounds, right? They come from difficult backgrounds, they have struggled, they have failed a lot, and then they have done well, and they think that they need to take the brightest and you know, the brightest, most well righteous, the youth who prays every night, um, helps the old lady across the street every time, that those are the youth that they should be mentoring, and that takes away the challenge, because what you want is to mentor maybe that youth that might just be a bit overly radical, that might just be a bit rough around the edges, into how to straighten up but not lose that edge, that edge that keeps us to, that helps us progress. In entrepreneurship, it is all about negotiating, mentoring these youth who have the um, bravery, the capacity to want to actually start businesses, as mediocre as they might seem at first, but lack the negotiating skills to actually grow their businesses. So business mentors can then help them in that. Now there is a lot of workshops Workshops are like trying to create armies of entrepreneurs, armies of leaders, and that's completely the wrong way to do it, because what you have is normal people who um, will just go to these things because they want something to do, and you end up with sub results, right? The nitpicking in this should be something where you pick out potential. You should be able to see potential, identify potential, even when it's rough, even when it's at its dirtiest. You should be able to see through all of those barriers and see there is potential there, and that's what you take, and that's the team that you then create. And what that team does is creates it creates something that wasn't there before. Right now I'm going to admit to the things. I have allies. You can call it coincidence, you can call me boastful, but I have been able to attain allies all across Africa. And when I say all across Africa, I'm even speaking about the areas where there is conflict. I have allies in Europe. I have allies in the United States of America. Allies from the highest offices to the lowest offices, from whom I try to learn. Right, from whom I try to learn, and from whom I try to ask for help when help is needed, and for whom I want to help when I can provide some sort of help within my own capacity. Now, all of that I did by myself. No one helped me do that. I did that by myself. Um, it was a daunting task to do that, which is why I got frustrated and angry when a lot of people just started to come in and just start to take, because they didn't understand how hard I worked to actually um, get get here, right? Um, being underestimated from people who were supposedly calling me poor, to the people who were saying I was in love with an imaginary Facebook woman. All of the things that I just had to ignore and just had to keep on pushing, had to keep on focusing on my goal. But I still think I do need those practical mentors, but I don't see the conventional mentorship programs where you go to some workshop and you do ABC is the type that will work for me. I see the type like internships is the type that would work for me, um, because the experience that I will gain from those experiences will greatly impact me and shape me and actually remove that barrier that I place on myself to actually go out there and tackle leadership positions, because that's what I want to be prepared for. I think it's enough is enough. We, the youth cannot keep on being handled by mediocrity just because you don't want to contest and take over someone's position, because that just happened to be where they got their bread and butter, right? The community as a whole doesn't benefit from that, and even the people there don't benefit from that. I'm not saying everyone is not fit for these positions, but what I'm saying is talking is just that, it's talking, but vision is different, and adapting is also different. And these are the things that practically wise I want to see for myself in action. So for now, I want to get out of my space of thought and actually be out there to think, to listen. Youth seminars and the workshops and stuff, I've been very unimpressed by. I've been very unnoticed when I attended these things, but I did listen, and they were very, they just did not have the right picking mechanisms in place. So I hope that the John Bubbles eventually get their mentor, because it's time, and the youth have spoken. Right.